Hello my friend, thank you for coming to my channel. Today we are visiting a verdant oasis in the hills above Georgetown, Penang. Wedged on the slopes of Mount Erskine, next to the Penang Botanic Gardens, is Bodhi Heart Sanctuary. It is a retreat for followers of Buddhism to connect spiritually to their faith and to practice meditation in complete serenity. The sanctuary comprises a sprawling complex of halls. With the kind permission of the Penang Bodhi Heart Sanctuary, I will now take you on a narrative walking tour in order for you to get to know this place better. We begin at Silabodhi, or Hall of Moral Purity. This is where the faithful offer meals and requisites to the monastics in the sanctuary. On the side wall is a commemorative plaque listing the donors who have funded the construction of Silabodhi and Samadhibodhi halls. On one corner outside the hall is an altar to the Hindu deity Ganesha. Now let's go in to have a look. The hall is Zen-like in its minimalism, sparsely furnished, and enjoys full views of the lush greenery outside. Now let's take a walk through the garden. There is a gong outside the hall for calling the devotees. The centerpiece of this rock garden is a seated Buddha surrounded by greenery. From this distance, I can see that the Buddha is in the Bhumi Parasa Mudra or earth touching posture. At the end of the path is a flight of stairs to the next level of the garden where there's another hall. Let's take the stairs up. This is Silabodhi's upper hall. Now let's exit Silabodhi Hall and continue our walk. To our right is the next major hall at Bodhi Heart Sanctuary. It is known as the Samadhibodhi Hall or Hall of Serenity. And as at Silabodhi Hall, it also has a gong to call the devotees. Samadhibodhi Hall has a balcony affording splendid views of the surrounding greenery. Now let's take a look at the Samadhibodhi Hall. At the center of the hall is a picture of Buddha delivering his first sermon to his 5 disciples. Next, we proceed to Pujabodhi, the prayer center. Pujabodhi has a square courtyard with a seated Buddha image in the middle. The Buddha has the right hand raised in the Abhaya Mudra, symbolizing fearlessness and protection. Behind the Buddha image is a Bodhi tree. It is customary to have a Bodhi tree over a seated Buddha to commemorate Buddha's sermon to his disciples. This tree was planted by a monk even before Bodhi Heart Sanctuary was founded. Lining the wall of the Pujabodhi courtyard are rows upon rows of Buddha images. These are placed there on funding from the followers. There is a rite in Buddhism of walking around a Buddha image, shrine or sacred relic. To ambulate in a clockwise direction is known as pradakshina. Immediately outside the circumambulation courtyard is a stone relief. It depicts the Brahma Chakra or wheel of life in Buddhism. The wheel of life represents samsara or cyclic existence. From here, we continue on to the outdoor meditation pavilion. This area is planted with lush greenery to offer users the tranquility in seeking inner calmness. On the slope at the far end are installed three images. The one on top is the Amitabha Buddha. The middle one is Guru Padmasambhava, and the bottom one is Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. From the Pujabodhi area, we can catch a nice view of the lawn with the Silabodhi Hall to the right and the Samadhibodhi Hall to the left. It has long been acknowledged that the presence of flowing water induces relaxation. As such, visitors to Bodhi Heart Sanctuary will come across a few bodies of water that help them to calm down and to be in a contemplative mood. Immediately above the Pujabodhi area is a reclining Buddha image. There is a pavilion here called Tea House 1 for visitors to rest and to relax. Moving on, we climb a flight of steps and go across the road to Bodhi Home. This is a row of living quarters for use by resident monastics. The Buddhist monastics or Sangha are welcome to reside here where they enjoy quiet contemplation and detachment from the outside world. We continue now to the third main hall of the sanctuary, known as the Pannabodhi Hall. The Pannabodhi Hall is the largest of the three halls at the sanctuary. It is often used for special occasions and major Buddhist events. It even has a side quarters for use by visiting abbots. Installed at the end of the hall, with a backdrop of large hills, is a seated Buddha in the Bhumish Pasha or earth-touching gesture. To the left of the Buddha image is an exquisite Burmese lacquerware offering vessel known as the Sun Ok. As with the other halls, the Pannabodhi Hall also has a gong for calling the Buddhist laity. Moving on, another flight of steps uphill takes us to a Tibetan Stupa. The stupa commemorates the occasion where the Buddha descended from Tusita heaven to spend 3 months teaching the Abhidhamma to his mother Queen Maya. From the stupa, we continue our walk to the southernmost part of the sanctuary. Also located within the Bodhi Heart complex is a Hindu temple, the Sri Malai Munishwara. The temple is however not part of the sanctuary. It's a temple in the South Indian style with a mandapa or pillared pavilion and a vimana or tiered tower. From here, you can enjoy a splendid view of the city skyline, especially in the late afternoon. The wooden gate leads to Samanabodhi, a forested area exclusive to the monastics. We will come back to it shortly. But first we take a look at this octagonal structure topped with a spire. Known as the Silavisodhani Sima Hall, this is the spiritual center of monastics at Bodhi Heart Sanctuary. The Sima is the demarcation between the area that is exclusive to the Buddhist clergy, separated from areas open to the laity. Returning to Samanabodhi, this flight of steps leads to the kutis, or huts that serve as forest dwellings for the monastics. This is a Sangha area, meaning it is exclusive to the Buddhist clergy, so I will not proceed any further. On the other side of the pathway from Samanabodhi is a well-manicured garden. The main feature of this garden is the earth-store Bodhisattva. Returning to the main path of the Bodhi Heart Sanctuary, we pass another tea house. Here are a couple more kutis or forest dwelling on the grounds of the sanctuary that can be occupied by the monastics during their stay here. Bodhi Heart Sanctuary also let out space to other non-governmental organizations to occupy its sprawling estate. One of these is Bodhi Home, a Buddhist home for orphans, children and youth from disadvantaged families. Another is the Penang Children's Home, a non-governmental organization catering to the needs of orphans, neglected children, and single parents. There is also a disabled person center on the ground of Bodhi Heart Sanctuary. The center caters to the needs of the disabled, giving them the opportunity to earn a living. Across from the parking space of Bodhi Heart Sanctuary is another courtyard. It features the Kuan Yin or the Avalokitesvara. The Kuan Yin is pouring a vase of pure water, which is one of the 8 symbols of good fortune. The courtyard is in front of Katannu Memorial Hall. The hall is where prayers are offered in memory of the departed. Installed in this hall are ancestral tablets of loved ones. There are three main images in the memorial hall. From left to right, they are the Mahatma Pratpa Bodhisattva, the Amitabha Buddha, and the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Lined up in rows on the wall are the ancestral tablets. With our visit to the Katannu Bodhi Memorial Hall, our walking tour of Bodhi Heart Sanctuary has come to its conclusion. Apart from the administrative office, we have covered every site in the sanctuary. I hope you have enjoyed this narrated walking tour and find it informative. Please take a moment to like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel so that I can bring you narrated walking tours of other places. Thank you for watching and see you again soon.